Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. It's our Thursday edition of On the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio, and we're not going to waste any time. We're not going to waste any time. We want to talk Diamond Game, and we got one. We got the very first diamond, Demetrius. We got the very first diamond that fell in the Diamond Game. Xavier Capers from Denmark High School. ZC, welcome back to OTH, my man.
Oh, yes, sir. It feels good to be back.
Talk about it, man. It's been a whirlwind since you committed to Arkansas, man. It seems like weekly, Xavier, you get offers. Just constant, hype has surrounded you. Talk about how you've dealt with that, and what's the next coming weeks looking like for Xavier Capers?
Yeah, it was kind of overwhelming after I committed. I started getting a lot of attention from a lot of different schools. And once I started going to the Nike Regional Opening and I blew up, a lot of colleges started to look at me. But so far, the process, it's been good. But at the same time, I know a lot of Arkansas fans are, kind of worried, but I'm still, my commitment is still solid to Arkansas. You
came up on March 9th, Xavier, after having several weeks to really let committing to Arkansas soak in. Sometimes, when you go to the university, you get caught up, but you've taken the process quite well. Took an unofficial LSU game, came back, once again in March. Talk about, just each and every time you come to Fayetteville and you're around this coaching staff, just how much more reassuring it is on your commitment to be here in Fayetteville for, I don't see no more than 3 years. Talk about that.
Oh, yes, sir. Every time I come to Fayetteville, I always feel the Arkansas love. It feels like a family. It's a family environment. And Coach Morris and Coach Stepper headed in the right direction. And, it's time to put Arkansas back on top.
If there's some schools right now that you feel, even with knowing that you're committed to Arkansas, are recruiting you, the hardest, there's about 2 or 3 schools out there. Which schools are those schools, Xavier?
Oh, yeah, as of right now, Auburn's one of them, Tennessee, Georgia Tech, and Florida.
When you talk to Coach Mo, Coach Stepp, and that offensive staff at Arkansas, I know you guys do a lot of conversating. What are some of the conversations like since you decided to be a Razorback?
The conversation has always been good and whatnot on being a Razorback. And, a lot of schools are starting to recruit me hard and whatnot based on my performance. But other than that, I've done good, and I'm just sticking with my commitment to Arkansas, and I'm looking forward to getting back up there soon.
Now, here in a couple of weeks, you'll be making your way to a very, very prestigious event, the opening in Dallas, Texas. Talk about how excited you are to be making that trip and representing your high school and state against some of the nation's elite on the opposite side of the football.
Oh, yes, sir. That's always been a goal of mine, and me enrolling early and just trusting the process. Me coming in early helps the team get better, and it helps me get better as well.
Xavier, you've had a relatively busy summer up to this point already, with still yet an even busier schedule, it looks like. But what are some of the things that, as you attend these camps, that you felt you needed to work on following your junior year, and some things that you really felt like you've gotten better at heading into your senior year?
Say that again?
What are some things throughout a lot of the camps you've attended during your off season that you felt like you needed to improve on? And going into your senior year, what are some things you feel really good about?
The one thing I want to improve on is my route running. but at the same time, my strengths will be my speed, my athleticism, and me going to get the jump ball.
Well, that's it. But I don't see anybody jumping with you. I mean, you're that hooper. I know about that state championship you guys won, but and I want to say congratulations for that accomplishment as well. But you talk about a lot of different visits. Do you have any more upcoming visits to the University of Arkansas, or is that just something you've seen it enough and they'll just wait till you arrive here on campus?
Oh yes, sir. Yes, I'm looking forward to get back up there soon.
Well, Xavier, I know you got a busy day. Love having you on. The fans just wanted to get a glimpse of, their big-time receiver. And as always, my man, we'll talk here real quick. But as always, tell Coach Crowder and Coach Jones I said hello. And thanks for taking time out on the hill, my man.
Oh, yes, sir. Sounds good.
All right. That was 2020, four-star Arkansas commit wide receiver from Denmark High School in Alpharetta, Georgia. Xavier Capers, and I mean this kid here has absolutely blown up. And I'm going to use one of my terms growing up, blown up like B12. I mean, he's really, really excited. I mean, I can remember Demetrius, and we both could sit here and say that nobody really knew about Mr. Capers back when we initially had him on and was talking about him. His name came up. We started talking about this kid. I believe, Demetrius, it was way back in September, October, that his name came up as my former high school coach is his high school coach, and that's how I knew about him. So sometimes you get these little ins and outs, but Xavier's going to be a great, great player. For those that just tuned in, we had Xavier Capers on, and next up, we're going to have big time Arkansas made his top 6. We're going to have Kayvon Billingsley of East St. Louis. He's up next. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. Let's get it.
It's a really good feeling right now.
What was it like to see your name pop up yesterday, or I guess it was 2 days ago now?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, that's a childhood dream that once the season's over, I get to finally live and I get to start my pro career. It was kind of nerve-wracking, just waiting to hear my name called, and when I finally got my name called, it was a really exciting time for me and my family.
Take us back to when you were drafted last year and you made the decision to come back for one reason only, to complete the deal. And it's great getting drafted as high as you did, but here you are on the road to Omaha.
Yeah, I mean, I got drafted last year and I turned it down. I mean, I turned down some pretty good money and to kind of help myself this year and also help this team kind of get back to Omaha and hopefully win it this year. And we're 2 wins away, and so I mean, it's awesome. And so, I mean, I'm happy to get drafted, but still the focus on this team's Omaha and to win it and be in that dog pile this year.
What was it like going back-to-back with Fletch?
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. I was actually on the phone talking right when Fletcher was getting called, so, I mean, it was kind of cool to see that and then hear my name right after. I mean, I was happy for everyone who got drafted. Fletcher right before me and then all the guys yesterday. It just shows how much hard work we've put in over the years to get to this point in our careers.
Hey everyone, it's Pat Jenkins here of OTH. That's right, On the Hill with Pat Jenkins, Sports Talk Radio. We come to you each and every day here, Monday through Friday, from 1 to 2 on KDSJ 479. Be sure and tune in if you want to hear about SEC and the Arkansas Razorbacks. It's OTH. Holla. Hotel, Locomotion, and our newest sponsor, Corey Beck's Custom. But Arkansas and, Coach Chad Moore started in the 2020 class, and they call that class the Diamond Gang. And a big, big diamond that they're trying to get out of the Missouri area. East St. Louis, by the way, Kayvon Billingsley. Kayvon, welcome to the Hill, my man.
Good. How you doing?
Doing very good. Kayvon, you came out yesterday evening, roughly less than 24 hours, with your top 6 highly recruited individual. How did you come to these top 6 schools that you want to focus on, if you let us in on just a little bit of your world?
First I started thinking about my academics, so what I want to major in. So I was trying to look for the best schools like that can help me do good and do good in my major. And so then and after that I started looking at the coaches, how I can like be good with the team, what they're gonna put me at and see where I can play in like the time frame when you playing.
Now, when I looked at your list, heavily packed with SEC schools. Yeah, I know you're an in-state young man there, right in Mizzou's back door. Do you get a lot of in-state pressure to stay home and play for the home state school, or just how's that recruiting process going for you?
It's going. Yeah, it's a lot of pressure. A lot of like, so I go to the mall. Everybody stops me like, I know you staying home, you know. But like, yeah, it's a lot of pressure that everybody wants me to stay home. And yeah, the coaches. I was just up there for a team camp at Mizzou, and yeah, they really want me.
To talk about you as a player, Kayvon. What is it about you and your game that separates you from most defensive linemen across the country?
Shoot, my mindset. My mindset is just to kill. I feel like I don't believe in taking the playoff.
I like that. Now, your parents, play a real big part in your life. Is there a timetable for when you want to make your decision, or is that just some things that you guys still hadn't worked out?
I think it's just a thing that you just have to work out.
And then talking off the record, KB, you really were impressed. You made an unofficial visit to the University of Arkansas in year one under Chad Morris, the weekend of the Alabama game. Explain to the listeners and viewers that'll be watching this today and that are watching this, what took place that day in the locker room when you were in Fayetteville?
Oh man, just very high intensity. Like the speech coach gave to the teammates, to the players, how to come out and just look to kill. It just made me feel like I had to play, like I wanted to play.
Now you said Coach, I believe Coach Caldwell, and you're talking to Coach Chad Morris. When you're able to talk really to the head coach, and he's one of the main recruiters of you, KB. How does that make you feel when you look at this top six? Because there's some really astute coaches on that list, but when a head coach takes the time out to really make you a priority, where does that stand for Coach Morris and the Razorbacks?
It shows me that he really want me in his program, and like I feel like some schools they talk to kids like they just sometimes you can be like feel the depth chart, but like I feel like as like a head coach taking the time to talk to me, or like if I come up there taking this time to send me to his office and talk to me and sit down, and just get not even like talk about football, but just get to know each other as a person.
Right.
That makes me feel like, yeah, they
talking with four-star defensive end from East St. Louis High School in East St. Louis, Illinois, Kayvon Billingsley, big-time Arkansas prospect. Arkansas came out in this young man's top six. Kayvon, when you watch collegiate football or professional football at the position that you're at, either defensive end or defensive line, who are some of the players that you like to study and maybe put parts of their game into yours and go out and perform on Friday nights?
J.J. Watt and Donald from Los Angeles Rams.
Now, I mean, KB, you've been a highly recruited young man, and it goes back, 2 years prior. As when you start getting a lot of attention your sophomore year. How have you been able to handle all the attention, KB, and from where you started that freshman year to now? What have you learned about the recruiting process that you're able to use to your advantage?
It's like when I started getting into sophomore year, like I felt like it was just getting to my head. So I have to try to I think 1 week I just said with my Twitter, just trying to refocus back on football. So you can't let the recruiting process get you, because it'll throw you off your game.
Right. Now, if I come to East St. Louis High School, I'm one of those type, KB. I'm gonna get popcorn with a Coke, no ice. Don't like ice in my drink, not one bit. And I'm gonna always go to the top of the bleachers in the stadium. When I sit down and that ball is kicked off, and we get between those lines, and it's time to get it. What type of football player will I see in Kayvon Billings?
Sure, you gonna see a dominant football player smash the ant with a sledgehammer.
I like that. I like that. Now, what do you plan on majoring in once college is all done?
Criminal law and justice.
See, I like that. I like that. Now, put social media, Kevon, is really big with your generation. How has that played in? You see a lot of these, your top six. I'm pretty sure I get a chance to see as we follow each other on social media each and every night. There's someone from one of those six fan bases tweeting at you. Do you pay attention to how the fans from these particular six schools are towards you on social media, or is that just something you just have a lot of fun with?
Yeah, I pay attention to it. Like every time I post something, they probably think I don't read the comments. So I read all my comments just to see what they say. Yeah, I see the fans arguing. Yeah, I see all of it.
Well, let's have a little fun. I got a producer. I call him Spike D. Here, he runs my show each and every day, and he's a video guy. He does his beats. What three artists are you vibing to right now in your, I guess, Spotify or wherever you're listening to your music? What three is KB listening to right now?
Okay, so my three artists. So I listen to Apple Music. My three artists: NBA YoungBoy, No Cap, and Lucy Vert.
See, you sit here and when you said YoungBoy, it's so ironic, KB. He was just over in Tulsa, Oklahoma, about roughly 3 weeks ago, shooting an NBA YoungBoy concert. So I mean, he's got this big old smile on his face. It's crazy. Yeah. What's up with NBA YoungBoy? I'm trying to figure that out. Demetrius, I'm gonna bring in my producers. Maybe y'all can help me out with it. What is it about YoungBoy?
Yeah, man, I know his real name Contrell, so I know him personally.
Oh,
but it's just like his music. Like some people's music, like it don't touch. Like his music, it's different. Like when I listen to his music, it touched my soul. Like I can relate to it.
I like that. Well, tell the listeners something that they may not know about Kayvon Billingsley that you would like them to know.
If you really be around me for a long time, I'm a really goofy person. Like if you first get around me, I probably act quiet. Like couple hours, I'm gonna start acting goofy. You probably get annoyed.
Just like ice, when it gets warmed up, it's gonna melt.
Yeah.
Well, last question before I let you go. When football is done for Kayvon Billingsley, he'll be doing what afterwards?
I'll either be trying to start getting into using my major, going around helping kids with football. Probably, I really want to coach. At the end of my time, I really want to coach.
Well, Kayvon, I loved it, enjoying talking to you, and we'll continue. Like I said, feel free. You can be more than a guest on this show. Anytime you want to come on here and give us an update, you just reach out, and we would love to have you. But as always, my man, thanks for taking time out on the hill.
Sure. Thank you for getting me on the view.
All right. That was Kayvon Billingsley. And Demetrius, we talked to this big fella. This is a young man. When you watch video, and I watched several games of Kayvon, relentless. When he talks about J.J. Watt, I can see those comparisons. It also lets me know it goes back to what we talked about when Chad Morris was initially hired here. He talked about getting a footprint in Missouri, a footprint in Tennessee, a footprint in Texas, a footprint in Oklahoma, and a footprint in Arkansas. And for all the kids that we've had on our show, Demetrius, since Chad has been hired, they've been from those particular areas of that footprint. What does that say? I mean, are they just that good of evaluators, or you have to have a gift of gab? You have to be able to build relationships. Is this staff that good at building relationships to get these types of kids I mean, you see the list: LSU, Georgia, Alabama, Illinois, um, Missouri. These are all schools that have had way more success outside of Illinois than per se what Arkansas had. I mean, talk about just the ability and the way these guys are able to, recruit and evaluate.
I think, the one thing that's really going big for Chad is the ability to play right away.
Right.
I think that's when you look at today's society, kids don't want to wait. They get beat out or they're ready to transfer that first summer.
Yeah, kids don't want to wait to eat, let alone wait to play somewhere.
Exactly. So I think Chad has that really going for
right.
him. I think that's really what's pushing the momentum and really, I guess you could say, trending for why kids really want to come here. And one thing I will say about a lot of kids now is they don't mind going to a program that's unestablished.
Right.
And I think right now we can both agree that Arkansas isn't really established when you're talking about a winning culture.
No.
Because we've both been off the air trying to figure out, okay, what is luring for these kids to come to Arkansas?
Right.
And when I sit back and think, it's the ability to be on TV right now, play against the top tier players in the national college football, and then not only that, have the opportunity to be scouted right away, because we both know, we talk about this time and time again, Jerry Jones gets the opportunity to recruit week in and week out for every kid that plays here at the University of Arkansas.
And we just heard our guest before KB came on, Xavier Capers. I mean, he talked about it, in the belief and vision that he can see that Coach Morris and staff are starting to put it in the foundation for going forward. And I think that's what a lot of kids, like you said, Demetrius, the playing time, the vision that these coaches are able to sell is, hey, don't be a number, be the number. Don't be a man, be the man, and come here and help this legacy grow. I've always felt, and I'll say it again, and time again, I'll continue to say it until I'm blue in the face. Arkansas is a sleeping giant. This, I truly feel, Demetrius, this program here in Fayetteville, Arkansas, from a person that covers it, could be the Oregon because of all the facilities and all of the support that this institution gets toward their athletic program. When they see, and I'll say this, when they see that progress is being made, and you can tell it's already, you can look throughout. Coach Chad Morris gets a top 20 class. Coach Neighbors gets a top 11 class. You see the type of work that Coach Musselman is doing. We see each and every year when baseball rolls around the type of talent that Dave Van Horn brings in each and every year. I mean, heck, Demetrius, 7 more guys had their name called to this year's that ended yesterday. 7 of them got met to the Major League Draft. So, I mean, and that just continues to pump out more and more players. And I think that's what it's going to take here at Arkansas, when kids can see that you can get to the next level. And I think they're going to find out that. You don't understand the players, the amount of players that John Chavis has coached and moved on. You don't understand what the legacy of defensive linemen that Coach Caldwell has really developed and sent to the NFL, have had major success. So all these coaches, and then you got your young and up-and-comers, your Justin Steps, your Joe Craddock. You got a guy, a great running backs coach and recruiter in Jeff Traylor. Then you go on the other side, there's Barry Lunny. I would be remiss to mention Coach Lunny, which I think is one of the top 2 tight end coaches and one of the top 2 tight end recruiters. I see the trend going upward, and they'll be in the mix for years to come, even more of these high caliber football players. But I want to give a big thank you as we're going to wrap this thing. The Baymont Hotel, located at 735 South Shiloh Drive. Locomotion, it's just below the Northwest Arkansas Mall, and our newest sponsor, Corey Beck's Custom Painting. Once again, I want to give a shout out to our guest, Xavier Capers, 2020 on his top 6. I want to give a thank you to those young men for taking time out here on the hill. And lastly, my producer, Demetrius Johnson, demigod, but on here, Spike D. Until tomorrow, that's going to do it. From me to you, it's on the hill with Pat